The entire season had seemed to become a command performance for Jordan.
It's an unbelievable sight to be pulling into a hotel at 3 in the morning on the bus. You turn around the corner and all of a sudden the whole street is lit up. You think, wow, they're filming a movie out here or something. Well, it's not. It's just that the Bulls are arriving. Michael Jordan, they have a chance maybe to see him.
In the postseason, he would lead the Bulls back to the finals with his trademark flair.
Yeah! Does it again!
But while Chicago playing for the NBA championship had become a familiar plot,
he is amazing.
The '93 finals would bring Michael a new and entertaining co-star.
God wants us to win the world championship.
I don't know if I go that far, Charles.
Oh, no. I talked to him the other night.
However, not even divine intervention was enough,
Spins away on Marley. He'll take it all the way to the basket and drops it in.
as Jordan would relentlessly attack Charles Barkley and the Suns.
Now underneath, Michael fights him, scores with a left hand.
Michael Jordan now looks like he is going to drive every time he gets his hand on a ball until they stop him.
His onslaught would include a personal finals best 55 points in Game 4.
Michael will take it. He's fouled. He scored. He threw it up. Off balance and went in. Oh, my. Michael with his fist clenched near midcourt. I tell you, he's just simply amazing. He does whatever he has to do to beat you.
We cannot stop him. I never said we had to stop him. We can't stop him. Nobody can stop him.
The Bulls would wrap up the series in 6 games, sealing it in dramatic fashion.
Paxson going for the win. Here's Paxson for 3. Yeah! That's the first score by anybody other than Michael Jordan in the entire fourth quarter.
Michael had now reached the pinnacle of his career.
For the 3rd year, Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls have climbed the Mount Olympus of the NBA.
Solidifying his status as the game's greatest player, Jordan had done what Bird and Magic could not, win a 3rd straight title, a feat not achieved since Bill Russell's great Celtics of the 60s.
Congratulations, it's a great accomplishment.
He had seemingly done it all, but Michael's most astounding move was yet to come.
After we won the championship, I sat in on the floor and just reminisced about the whole season and the years that I've had at the game of basketball and where my life was and where my challenges were. Do I have to do anything else? Can I just sit here for a few minutes? It started weighing me down mentally because of all the things that were happening and some of the responsibility that I was gaining, the expectations. Mentally, I was exhausted because I forgot where I was. I forgot how I got there. Because of being on top for so long, you forget about a lot of the stages and the steps that it took to get to that point. And my father and I had a conversation about just stepping away.
Jordan had reached a crossroads, and he would spend the summers sorting out his feelings.
I wanted to give myself some time to make sure this was the right thing, this is what I really wanted to do. I asked Phil Jackson, frankly, I said, what kind of challenges can you give me next year? If you can give me one challenge, I would not retire.
He felt like if I don't have the desire to do it, if I don't have the thirst to play basketball, it's not as much fun as it used to be, then I'm going to lose my gift.
We were crying and trying to come up with different types of challenges, and I couldn't come up with one. He couldn't come up with one for me.
But the sense of anguish Michael felt as he wrestled with his decision would pale in comparison with what he was now about to face.
Last night, we began the show with the disappearance of Michael Jordan's father. Tonight, the worst fears have come true. James Jordan was found dead, the victim of an apparent murder.
It was a very difficult moment for me, and somehow I just kept my head high and looked at the good of it, you know, the time that we used to spend and the education that he gave me. And I thought about all the things that he used to tell me, just turn a negative into a positive. And here I was dealing with him in that way. It was tough.
Shaken by the death of his father, who had always been his closest advisor and supporter, his choice had now become clear. And soon, the world would know about it,
When I lose the sense of motivation and the sense of to prove something as a basketball player, it's time for me to move away from the game of basketball.
It was something that my father and I talked about way before he passed. Me retiring from basketball and then playing baseball. And in the final year that we won the championship, it was like his biggest push to go and do it. No one could present a challenge for me at the time, other than what my father was presenting to me, which was to go and play baseball.
Following his father's advice, Michael would become a minor league baseball player. But more than just a diversion, his new pastime was part of an emotional journey.
I think what baseball did for me was it gave me an opportunity to revisit all those moments that I had with my father. And when I really thought about it, I said, he was here. Everything that he's taught me, everything that I accomplished was him. It took me a while to understand that. And once I understood it, I could accept it and deal with it. So it was a therapeutic experience for me. I guess it made me at peace with myself.
But in March of 1995, he would leave baseball and return to Chicago.
He calls him about 7 in the morning and says, hey, let's go to breakfast. So we go to breakfast, we talk a little bit. He's in a suit. So he said, let's go over to practice and screw around before practice. I'm like, all right, fine, we'll do that. No problem. So we're out there just shooting. He has his suit on still. I have my practice stuff on. So a shooting game goes into a shooting contest. And all of a sudden the contest goes into, well, let me see if you can still guard me. And then it goes from, well, let me see if you can still guard me. And then before you know it, we're playing a one-on-one.
I started attending a couple of practices and getting out there with the guys, and the enjoyment that came out of that really started to make me feel good.
The economy has produced 6.1 million jobs since I became president. And if Michael Jordan goes back to the Bulls, it'll be 6,100,001 new jobs.
Michael Jordan announced today he's coming back to basketball.
One guy said the words, "I'm back," and it set the world on fire. Just turned it upside down.
I never thought I'd come back to the game of basketball. I never thought I would have that feeling to come back. But what drove me back was I truly loved the game.
Today, Michael Jordan at age 32 tries to accomplish what no one else truly has in team sports history.
After an 18-month absence, Jordan was back, and his return sparked a magical rush.
Here's Jordan. Bulls trail by 1. Michael. Oh, yeah. Welcome back, Michael Jordan.
And he instantly conjured up indelible images of the past.
Yes, and it counts. Michael Jordan. And that is a high for the NBA this season. 55 points by Michael Jordan. The inbounds to Michael. Racing the clock. Jordan for the win. Yes! He did it again! He is now back!
Jordan had seemingly returned to his role of savior, but in the playoffs, the young Orlando Magic were ready to show him that times had changed.
91-90 the score. Chicago with the lead with 18 1/10 seconds to play. All right, here we go. Now Jordan played by Anderson. And Jordan spinning his way against Anderson.
Jordan's miscue seemed almost unthinkable, but he would have one more chance to deliver his expected heroics.